So another big misconception are the concepts of heaven and hell in the scripture. And Christians have this like eternal hellfire like Muslims do. And that's not traditionally how it really is in Judaism. But also in Judaism, they like to say, oh, well, we don't believe in heaven and hell, which is not really the truth. It's more like we don't believe in heaven and hell like other people believe in heaven and hell. Because in Judaism, there's 7 heavens, 7 hells, and 7 within each of those 7, and 7 more, meaning there's like infinite levels of this heaven and hell idea. But unlike the Christian and Muslim heaven and hell especially, it's not eternal. So in Judaism, it's closer to like a car wash, I want to say, or the allegory of the cave, maybe, in that it's something akin to life. We live life in a cave, and some people are virtuous. They live by the campfire, and so they see the campfire's light and the warmth of the campfire. And so when they die, it's like going out into the sunlight out of this cave, and so that the sun is so much brighter and warmer, but it takes time, maybe still a little bit, to adjust, but you've been by the campfire the whole time, so the light isn't so bad, and the warmth feels even better, right? It's like more beautiful. Everything's more vivid, and it's warmer, and it's phenomenal. It's heaven. And so for people who live away from the light in their lives by living selfish, unvirtuous lives, they become more like a golem from the Lord of the Rings or something. They live in the back of the cave somewhere, off in the tunnel, where it's pitch black and it's freezing cold, and their eyes grow accustomed to just blackness and darkness, and they're used to the cold and the damp. And so when they die and they go out into the real world, let's call it, or whatever, the sunshine, instead of like vivid colors, a little bit of adjustment in these vivid colors and warmth, they feel like they're on fire. They can't see, their eyes are burning and their skin is burning, and like they're not used to the heat and the warmth and the light that the people who live virtuous lives, who have been by the campfire, feel. So when they transition into the divine, it seems like hell. And so they say that hell and time is an interesting thing. We'll get into a time one eventually of what time is in the divine life, but that nobody stays in hell for more than a year. And a divine year, who knows like what that actually means, right? There's allusions to time in one of the Psalms that Moses wrote, like the one Psalm Moses wrote, but it's relative, right? So who knows what a year is, but it's more the time it takes to transition from Golem's cave to being in the sunshine again, and being warm and seeing the light, and rather than like eternal torment and hellfire and beatings and that kind of idea. And heavens too, they're interesting. There's like 7 heavens. There's some weird stories with that too, and why they don't, in Judaism, don't want converts, because they can like never go to the heaven that Jews go to. So that Jews automatically go to a higher heaven than anybody who's not Jewish can go to, and so that's why they probably don't want to talk about it. And that's a big reason why they don't want converts, or they're hesitant to accept converts. Not that they don't want them, but they're hesitant to accept them, because you have to understand this idea that like you'll never go, if your wife is Jewish and your kids are Jewish, you'll never go to the same heaven they go to. You can only go to the second heaven, which is pretty messed up. But so there's a better end of hell. Like hell's not so horribly torturous, because it doesn't make sense. Why would a loving God torture somebody forever? But then at the same end, heaven's kind of this weird concept that's like, why would a loving God do that either? So it kind of balances each other out, but just keeping it real. I think it's an interesting concept, especially with hell, that like this, I never understood that either. I know there's a lot of people that are like, this doesn't make sense. Why would, if it was a really truly loving creator, why would it torture something for eternity that struggled in the creation it made, right? And it doesn't. That's not how it's ever really been interpreted. It's just this idea that it's a transitionary period. It's like car wash or coming out of a cave. And for people who are in the light, it's much easier. People who are in the darkness of the cave, they suffer. And it seems like they're burning in their eyes. And so anyway, for what it's worth, I wish everyone the blessing of finding their own heaven here on earth before, because really that's what life's about. We're not supposed to worry about heaven or hell. We're supposed to just worry about living in the moment, living on earth, and living life to its fullest, enjoying this gift of life as much as we can. It's a gift. That's why they call it the present. So anyway, I wish everyone that gift, heaven on earth and heaven beyond. And let's do this, people. Save the humans.
Trying to be a better man. Oh yeah. Trying to do the best I can. Oh yeah. And I'm gonna do right thing. Do right thing. No matter what they want to say. And I'm gonna still fight for you. Still fight for you.